Jillian and Daniel have just bought their first home. They're in love with its traditional style, except for one tiny room. They know what they want, but not how to get there.
I definitely want a designated area for working.
It'd be nice if we could both be in the room at the same time, just lounging, reading a book, or just surfing the internet.
Aha! Sounds like they want everything. That's where Tommy and I come in.
Thank you.
Or try to. Well, access is a bit of a problem.
What a charming little room. Little room.
With an overscaled wall unit.
Yes, looming over me as we speak. While it is very efficient, certainly, in terms of storage and things, are you okay there?
Exercise. I don't know, I just have to keep stepping over this bench, which is really in my way. What's my problem?
You need to do a workout video using existing furniture in people's homes. One thing that's a little strange is the sloped ceiling and then these little sort of half dormers in a way.
I think they're charming.
So I definitely want to play up the room's unique architectural strengths.
When you've got a situation like this where you have a wall that goes up and then turns into the ceiling, you need to pick a point. And if you don't have trim to help delineate the walls from the ceiling, you need to just take the color up and over. Now, I think it's probably a good thing that they didn't take the plaid wallpaper all the way up and over the ceiling because you'd feel kind of gift-wrapped.
Not the package I'm looking for.
Oh.
Does that match?
No, Tommy, the carpet does not match the blinds.
Given the fact that it's a relatively small space, especially a small space to be converted into dual purpose.
Right.
Do we need that closet?
You don't need it for what they're using it for.
I'm not saying demo it necessarily, but it's a problem that we're gonna have to address.
This space requires some big thinking. Here's the brief. We've got to make a tiny room multifunctional to serve as a home office and lounge space. Showcase the room's architectural features, and devise clever storage solutions to reduce clutter and keep the space relaxing. Okay, here's a high-stakes element for you. Is it masculine? Is it feminine?
I think it's both.
I think we need to keep the character, keep the charm.
Yes.
Balance, storage, functionality, and comfort.
Yeah.
And give it a bit of an update.
It definitely needs an update.
An update and a color palette that will suit a man and a woman. Fine and dandy, except...
I am actually afraid of color.
So no bold green or red colors in the room.
There's a lot of things in life to be terrified of. Color is not one of them. No color means no interest. This small room needs personality, which means finding something Jillian and Daniel might both like. So I thought some blue would be really nice.
That is a totally different direction than I thought you were gonna go in.
You always go all moody, dark, and masculine, and I want this to be a little bit brighter. Blue for him, a touch of pretty for her.
That seems a bit Floridian. I know that fabric is really expensive, but it's really beautiful.
How about that? Oh.
Well, to me, that's exactly the same as this. Well, I mean, obviously there's a difference, but there's a subtle difference.
$27.99 a yard? Guess. $360 a yard.
Seriously.
Seriously. Hello. I think we've got a winner. So our palette will be a marriage of blues and grays for him and florals for her. But before we can do anything with the fabric, we have to deal with some issues, like updating the knob and tube wiring and replacing way past it fixtures. The bones have to be just right. That, and having our design team, Lindsay and Michael, get rid of the dusty, old, dusty rose broadloom.
I'm starting with these
flyers.
Proving that a rose never smelled so sweet. Check it out. These original floors are a good foundation.
Oh, but it's not in good shape.
Now that we've stripped out the old, Tommy and I can get cracking.
Whoa, what is that smell?
That's the smell of old underpad.
Could somebody have not removed it before we got here?
Okay, let's talk about the floor.
Right.
There's no split boards. There's some stains, but realistically, we should be able to give them a light sand and a new coat, which would allow us to change the color.
You know what, I totally agree with you. Just because they look like hell right now doesn't mean they couldn't look good later.
Okay?
What do you think about chair rails? I brought a bunch.
Well, I was thinking it would be nice to have it at about this height. Because there isn't a clear line where the wall ends and the ceiling begins, adding a chair rail will help define both and draw attention to the unique shape of the ceiling.
Normally you would use something like this.
which is pretty small. So we really want something that's more like this, that's in keeping with the trim profile that we've already got. I came, I saw, I decided. Now I leave. Bye.
Now we leave.
As the plaid wallpaper comes down, Michael is searching for the all-important desk. Not too feminine, not too masculine, and not too expensive. So where are you thinking the desk is gonna go?
Well, I see the desk either peninsulaing from under the front window.
Right.
Or at the opposite end of the room.
If you did it in a peninsula, you could have a chair on either side.
Right.
I think Sarah and Tommy can build any kind of style around a piece like this, but where function comes into it, they might be a little iffy.
What if we peninsulated it from the wall at the end closest to the closet? That way
Right.
you could convert the closet into storage.
Yeah.
And then I was imagining a pair of chaise lounges. Michael's hunt continues.
This desk is a good option because it's transitional and it can go either modern or traditional.
Some additional pieces, surfaces, consoles. No thanks, I'm good. All right, that's a plan. Back at the office, it's time to see if Michael's search was fruitful. Okay, 4 options. Exotic wood and chrome.
It looks a little store-bought to me.
Big partner's desk.
Doesn't that seem a bit formal?
It also seems a bit expensive. It's $12,000.
That's got no storage, nothing going for it. It's all flash, no function.
Something more feminine?
It's a bit too dainty.
Okay, we keep looking.
Okay, we're not there yet.
We're not there. And we may not be there with the wallpaper choice either.
I don't really like it.
Wow. Jillian and Daniel's unique but awkward go-nowhere room is becoming a work lounge destination. We started by tearing out the old
What is that smell?
and are working on how to showcase its features.
So we'd like to maintain some of that character, but a little more modernized.
But beware, we're also adding color.
Kind of terrifies me a little bit.
And the desk search is coming up empty.
We're not there yet.
We're not there. We're hitting the streets for more options.
It's too traditional.
Hello, hello. Can I put you on
Hold,
hold?
please.
Hold, please.
Here's a desk.
I want it to have a bit more flair, a bit more character.
You're asking a lot for this voyage of discovery.
Okay, well, I can dream big, can't I?
Don't get desperate. There's a couple of desks. There's one here,
No.
maybe too small, and there's one here.
Oh,
I saw this as we came in.
it's actually made by a good manufacturer. Mm-hmm. Nice deep drawers. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking it would be lovely in a shade of white or pale gray.
Okay. As a wood finish or painted?
I don't know, you tell me. What are you feeling like today? Because I'm feeling like when the desk costs $145 is solid wood, is vintage and made by a good manufacturer. We got some money to play with here. What do you want to do? We need a decision because work is happening at breakneck speed. The floors have been refinished and the new chair rail is defining the break between the showcase ceiling and the wall. And while that's happening, Lindsay has come up with numbers to refinish the vintage desk.
$700 to stain?
Really?
Yes.
That's too much.
Too much, but $200 to spray.
You know, we only paid $145 for the desk, so I'm definitely willing to spend $200 changing the color.
How about adding a custom piece of marble? A lot of marble places have remnant programs. We can get a piece of marble for about $250 to sit on top of this.
That'd be nice. Terrific. Okay, so let's do that. Let's spray it. Let's add marble.
Perfect, done.
A gray and white Carrera marble desktop will jibe with our cool color palette. And if you go for a remnant, you'll save a bundle.
60 to 75% savings.
Okay, do you have remnants in Carrera?
Remnants in Carrera right here.
Right there. I like that.
So make sure that it's the one that you like.
That's perfect. We'll take it.
As for the relaxation side of the room, the best way to give Jillian and Daniel their own lounging area are those his and hers chaises. We're having them custom made to fit the tiny space. And here's a clever idea to replace that overbearing bookcase. We're installing shelves in the closet. A simple retrofit will help it to swallow a ton of stuff, but we still need more. Oh, look at this. Found a couple of options here.
Options for?
A console to go behind the desk and
Okay.
maybe a storage cabinet as well.
Great.
Okay. Option 1, 2 drawers and a shelf.
I like that.
Option 2, 3 smaller drawers, no shelf.
Not crazy about that.
Okay, then I have options for a console or a credenza. What do you think between these two options?
I would say the open storage in a really small room like this would give a little more lightness to the space.
I think you're right. I think it's lighter looking.
Quick question.
Yeah.
We're committing to this from a website.
Did you want me to zoom in so you can see it closer? Like it?
It's really not quite the same as pulling the drawers and making sure that it works well, but okay.
Okay. It's good. What could possibly go wrong? The desk is getting a new attitude. Repainting an inexpensive vintage piece gives you a one-of-a-kind gem. Meanwhile, Lindsay and Michael are scouring the city for the perfect... No, not candy, wallpaper, to go below the new chair rail. It needs to tread that fine line between masculine and feminine while working with our cool blue palette.
Don't think that's the right feel.
Too bold. Nope.
This could be good.
Too old-fashioned. I like that. No, no.
We want something subtle, soothing, cozy, and calm. I think this is a great option.
I think this is the right wallpaper for the room because I think it will help add some architectural interest. But will our color-shy couple agree?
I don't really like it.
Wow.
I'm thinking from afar it's gonna look like a bunch of ants climbing up the wall.
She's got serious problems.
And I think that would actually make me very scared.
What happens to this person when actual bugs and actually horrifying things happen?
Like, honestly, is this gonna be in our house?
The amazing thing about pattern is it elicits a very visceral reaction from people. It's emotional, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I was pretty keen to go with the one that Lindsay had found. However, looks like Jillian's gonna get her way because that wallpaper is so new and so exciting that it doesn't even come in stock for another month yet. Guess we'll have to hit the sample books again, but not before finding a rug to lay atop that newly refinished floor that will anchor the furniture and connect the office and lounge.
I like this patchwork stuff.
To match our jumping off fabric, it has to be blue, but not too blue.
I am actually afraid of color.
We know. Too dark. So we're trying to go a bit more conservative. Red.
Ooh, that's gorgeous. Love that.
That's very blue.
She hates color, eh? Is that a color? Here we go again, another hint. That's beautiful.
Well, you know, what drew me to this fabric is the fact that it has a variety of blues and it has the more greeny blue as well.
Just bang on that color.
And this carpet brings in those two exact elements. Multi-shades of blue, but instead of just being blue, it's also got the blue-green, which makes it that much more dynamic, that much more interesting to me.
This is a color carpet, but it's a conservative color carpet.
Exactly.
You don't have to convince me. You're gonna have to convince her, though.
Now to gingerly pick the wallpaper.
No. Ooh, that looks like a theater lobby. Nice, but kind of boring.
This is not buggy. This is lovely.
I'm not bugged by it.
Let's commit. You want to commit?
Sure.
Okay. Let's also talk then about color samples here.
Like, honestly, I'm really scared of color.
How about we go darkest inside the closet for
Yeah.
the most impact, lightest on the ceiling so it doesn't feel like it's falling in on you.
Sure.
Okay, there you go. We're going with color in the fabric, on the ceiling, and inside the fab new closet. Now for a light fixture with pizzazz and low enough profile for the tight ceiling. Red, no. Black, no. Birdcage, no. Okay, what's that up there? Is that cool? Is that funky?
No.
Is that edgy?
No, that's a punch bowl with electrification. No, you're getting desperate.
Me desperate, him honest. And the search continues. Well, we're having no luck. Hope someone else is.
Look what I have.
This is exactly what I wanted. I looked everywhere. Michael found two traditional fixtures, one vintage and one reproduction. When I look at the quality and the construction of old versus new, I'm going old all the way.
Perfect.
Remember those dormer windows? The fabric that's inspiring our blue-gray palette is being used for tailor-made window coverings. The wallpaper goes up, and the online furniture order Tommy is skeptical about has been delivered. The new storage cabinet, the console,
This one looks like it's okay so far.
and we also ordered 2 armchairs to tie into the traditional vibe of the room.
Yep, just check those splits.
So far, one good.
I think I'm about to win him over.
Oh, nope.
What?
Demo.
Oh,
Well, maybe not.
Well, guys, that's the joy of ordering furniture online.
no! What do you do about that?
You send it back. Having to manage all of this kind of shipping and receiving and sending it back and getting a new one and everything, it's an awful lot of work. So the convenience of ordering online, sometimes, not so much about the convenience. I hate to say I told you so. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I love to say I told you so.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Thanks to an overnight courier, the replacement desk chair has arrived. The rest of the furniture is delivered, along with his and hers chaises. Look at our desk. The key to a small space is use the least number of large pieces of furniture. We may have one more than we need. The challenge for this room was that it was small and it felt pokey and tight. But in the end, I think that's what gives it the charm and the character.
What this den/home office does is it provides these people with a day-to-day enjoyment of their home that they may not have otherwise had.
The transformation of this room seems extraordinarily dramatic, but realistically, this is just decorating. This was not a big renovation. There was no structural impact. Really, this is what you can do if you remove what's not working and replace it with thoughtful elements.
I love the final outcome. I am so pleased. Like, it's beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
2 words. Love it, love it, love it.
Obviously, the fabric that we chose as the starting off point could be viewed as being a little bit more feminine. But the good news is it's not overtly girly. And since it's rendered all in muted shades of blue, I think that appeals to the male perspective. Then, by having some furnishings that are simple, not patterned, comfortable, I think that helps achieve a more male perspective.
When you look at a sloped ceiling, you find a place to start and stop. So what Sarah did by adding that chair rail gave us an opportunity to have something that wraps up and then something that goes from the chair rail down to the floor.
If you've got a room with some quirky architecture, I say you need to embrace it and you have to build a room around it.
The wallpaper is actually just beautiful. Like, it's very light and airy, and it brings out the blue accents in the room, so I really love it.
When it comes to window treatments, I don't think you have to make a single decision and go with it. I wanted the drapes for softness in the sitting area, but because we had a radiator by the desk area, I wanted it to be a Roman blind. As far as I'm concerned, if you've got the same fabric on both windows, you can choose different treatments. We turned an underutilized closet into a full vertical wall of storage. Amazing. Removing the closet entirely and patching the floor and patching the plaster would have been costly. It also wouldn't have been a wise move in terms of resale. The good news is you can always easily remove the shelves if this needs to be turned back into something that would work for clothes storage.
I guess it really goes to show that, like, you can have functionality and beauty at the same time.
Every piece of furniture we chose had a combination of surface and open storage and closed storage. And then everything got unified with the details by making sure that we had chrome accents or hardware on everything. It makes all of it come together perfectly.
Having the desk on one side coming out from one wall and the chaise lounges on the other side coming out from the other wall, we have balance, we have symmetry, and we have a perfect space.
Honestly, when I come to this room, I feel like it's like my oasis.
And nothing says relax more than a chaise.
A painted desk surface is not the most durable, so adding that remnant from the marble yard on the top of the desk makes it durable for the long run. I hope that we've given them a room that they love, but also a learning experience in terms of decorating and furnishing a space. And if they've learned something, I'll be really happy. Because they're a pretty cute couple. Even though she's terrified of buggy wallpaper, I still love her.
Just in case you were wondering, if it was available, we still would have put it up. Colin and Jose have renovated their home entirely by themselves.
We've been doing this for 5 years.
They've accomplished a lot and it looks great. But with their master bedroom left to do, they've run out of steam.
I'm completely sick of being in the state of renovation.
I'm a little burnt out.
Renovating can be tough and you need your rest. That would be difficult for anyone in a bedroom that's doubling as a tool shed. Wow!
I'm speechless.
But I don't get it. This is your master bedroom.
Definitely the intimacy value of the room has gone down, but once the lights are off, then it's okay.
The only kind of tool I want to see in a bedroom ain't that, okay?
This is not a grand, easy to lay out master bedroom. No, this is a small room. With a king-size bed, there isn't even room for bedside tables. Like, I couldn't rest with this level of chaos. I'd be like this, trying to vacuum in my sleep.
Our vision of the room would be something calming.
At the end of our day, just not feel like chaos and the construction and the renovation is so in our face.
Reno burnout is a common problem. For this couple, they've lost their original vision for the room. And this strange hallway from the bedroom to the ensuite is a prime example of a plan that's gone off the rails. Wouldn't want to be headed down here, because this opens right onto the stairwell. Colin and Jose have a little boy, so this situation is at 911. It's making me feel like I need to get out my hammer.
Being here makes me want to get hammered, because this is a big job.
Oh, really?
We're not decorating a room, we're saving a marriage.
I hope so.
Please help.
First thing it seems to me that we have to tackle is some infrastructure.
Yes, you can't really start the decorating process and feathering a nest until you actually have a nest.
Right.
Storage is also a major problem that needs to be solved.
I have not had a proper closet for my clothes since I've moved into this house. I dream of closets.
Really, really smart and clever storage and total serenity.
But maybe some minimalism.
Sure.
We've got to revive Colin and Jose's sideline design vision for this room. Use smart design and placement choices to save space. We've got to reduce clutter and shoehorn in a ton of storage. And if you want to make a difference from the life you're living now that is cluttered and chaotic, and you want order in your house, then you have to commit to that as an agenda. The first thing I need to do before we can go anywhere is see this space empty. No tools, no clothes, no TV, no bed, nothing.
Very stressful coming into this room knowing that it has to be completely emptied. You're taking your time. Where we're putting things, we haven't even planned that far ahead.
A little frustrating, but yeah, it's coming along.
Relief.
It's relief. I'm relieved. Be relieved.
Very.
With the master bedroom cleared of bed knobs and bandsaws, we can finally see what needs to be done before the paint and the pretty can happen.
Wow.
The homeowner has done this all himself.
Okay.
And they got to the master bedroom and they ran out of steam.
Wow. This pocket door framing is all wrong.
If this were my place, I'd be putting in doors that close. My feeling is that pocket doors don't dampen the noise enough, and I think you would want a full door.
Yeah, I agree with you.
No finger pointing here. When you're burnt out, mistakes can be made.
We should continue the floor right down to the staircase. And then the electrical for sure has to be addressed for safety.
Okay. We also need storage, but I have an idea. So I'm sort of imagining her closet, his closet, and the only way we can get enough closet space for 2 people is if we move the radiator under the window.
Wow.
And then we have some issues down the hall. Don't fall.
Wow.
A fair bit of expensive finishing up needs to be done here. We've got a tight budget and a small space, so we need to dial back design expectations.
Have you heard the list of what they want? They want a king-size bed, book storage, tons of clothes storage, a television set.
I think we should focus on the storage and the sleeping. It's a bedroom. Let's make it a bedroom. So leave the bed where it is, downsize to a queen.
Okay.
And what if we were to focus on doing a sort of matching wardrobe system and then return down the side walls with something a little shallower? Each person is sort of getting their own L-shaped storage.
To each their own.
Well, I don't know. If she's got more clothing, it may kind of infiltrate his
She might
space,
migrate.
but we'll see. And that way, you got room for side tables. You know, maybe we can even put a chair or something in the front window. My agenda is this place needs to be calm, peaceful, spare, uncluttered, the antithesis to what it was. And white will help expand the room, make it light, bright, and simple. Speaking of which, here's a cool idea for the perilous bedroom to bathroom walkway. Instead of putting up a wall of drywall and closing it off, what if we went wall to wall, floor to ceiling, a piece of glass so that it's kind of preventing the noise coming up from downstairs, totally seals it off.
You can go with texturized glass.
Okay.
You can do clear glass and then put a vinyl sticker on to the glass.
With an image or something?
With an image,
okay.
Or you could do a sandblasted glass. If you did the vinyl, that would probably be your most cost-effective solution to do that, and it would be removable.
Can you measure it up though? And then we're gonna do something.
Yep.
Just have to figure out what it is. Tempered glass is a fraction of the thickness of a drywalled wall. It'll also give Colin and Jose more room. So, with a plan, contractor, and an idea for the stairwell, we can get to work and maybe start thinking about the pretty stuff. I think this is it. But Tommy and I are not doing it on our own. Our design team is also kicking into high gear. Allie's sourced a selection of fabrics, and I'm sure there's something here for this room.
I like grays and tones and whites. I'm not a big color guy.
Maybe not. You've got a pretty big variety here. What are you thinking?
I kind of like this one.
Okay.
Kind of like this blue, orange, and yellow one.
I'm not sure about that.
I have a favorite.
I think this one. I like.
That's the one.
I think this is bang on the money. Yeah, Allie knew all along that would be a favorite.
I think this is it.
Why the pop of color in an all-white space? Well, it helps to soften an otherwise monochromatic scheme. Could make a great headboard. This is it. Puts the rest of them to shame. Colin and Jose's bedroom is small, so we've got to use space wisely.
That's a great looking lamp. But here's another idea. If we don't end up with a lot of space for our bedsides, we could actually default to a pendant.
And then you've got all of your bedside table free.
Right. There's something very beautiful over there. It's modern.
The fact that it's made out of porcelain and the fact that it's got that kind of organic shape, it doesn't end up looking like it belongs in your kitchen, right?
I think we need to look at bed options before we decide on lighting. And I saw a good one on the way in.
Okay, show me. Oh, that's nice.
It's got storage all the way down. You get 3 on this side and 3 on that side. This is a splurge. It's between $4,500 and $5,000.
I would love to buy this bed. I just don't know if we can afford it. Love you. Hope I can see you again later. The infrastructure work that's got to go into this job, the glass wall, drywall, moving the rad, bringing the electrical up to code, and painting, it's not the fun stuff, but it's got to be done, and it's costing us about $12,000. And right now, I was looking at a bed that was $5,000, but guess what? I don't have $5,000. I don't even have $500 to spend. In other words, we need to get the look for less. I don't know if I can do this one.
It brings faux bois to a whole other level.
I like this better. You get 4 drawers. It's $399. Do you like this bed $4,600 less than the other bed?
Yes, I do, actually.
Can you live with this?
I can't, but they can.
So we all know my bespectacled friend, he likes the best of everything. And what probably doesn't fit is an expensive splurge item. That's our bed. We move on, yes?
Sure.
But we need way more storage than that.
It's really all about the closets.
Right?
So first step, we need to choose our frames. We've got deep units here, which allow us to put a hanging bar.
Yep.
And then we've got the shallower ones. 2 closets equals tons of storage for each of them.
We utilize every millimeter of space.
We're gonna be space savers. If we go for this unit, which is only about 2.5 feet wide, the good news is you can put 2 bars up.
It's a ton.
Then we just have to figure out how to outfit the shallower ones. Like, look at all these components.
This is amazing.
What I love is these shallow hanging bars.
Your hanger goes the other way. Yeah, the opposite direction. Like, there's every single possible option that you could want.
Almost there. Nice.
You like this one?
At after 5 in these shoes? Yeah, I like this. Alas, no rest. Back at Colin and Jose's, the walls are painted dreamy white to create a calming backdrop and to frame that colorful accent headboard. Meanwhile, my quest to save money has hit pay dirt once again. I like the first pendants that we found, but they're $280 each. And these pendants, which are also ceramic, have a contemporary vibe, they're $30 each. I'm thinking those are a deal. The pendants will save space on the bedside tables, which should be as simple as possible to help keep clutter in this room to a minimum.
Bedside tables.
Well, that's an occasional table. I like the fact that it's got the white, which is the same color as the wardrobes, the lightness of the wood, which is the color of the floor, and it even has an aluminum base, which gives it a little bit of polish, which is sort of nice. Great. Now, what about a space-saving perch? We definitely don't have room for a big upholstered chair.
We have about 36 inches.
$275.
It's a good-looking chair.
It's worth a try, right? Okay, cash and carry. Now, something to dress the bay window. How are ya?
Okay, how are you, Sarah?
Good. Do you have ripstop nylon or parachute material?
What?
Yes.
What's she planning?
We're gonna jump out of a plane.
That's it.
No, we're not.
Okay, I'll come clean. We're looking for drapes.
There we go.
What are you, Hugh Hefner?
Maybe not purple. Do you have it in white? If we're on a tight budget, let's rethink what our material usage is. And let's use something contemporary, funky, and washable. You think I'm crazy?
I think you're batshit crazy, actually.
Crazy for a bargain. $8.99 a yard.
What about the waffle one?
Ruffle?
It's like a waffle.
A waffle?
Yeah.
I don't want waffles for breakfast. I want the parachute. It's a bit noisy.
It's very 80s.
Okay, done. The glorious storage cabinets have arrived and go up in a flash with lots of help. But instead of relocating the rad under the window, we found an even more practical solution. We're installing a compact unit into one of the new closets. It hooks up to the existing plumbing. Looks great. Thanks. We're leaving. It also has a fan to circulate the heat throughout the entire room. Genius. We're reviving this master bedroom with white and a drop or two of color and making a place for everything. We're gonna be space savers. And speaking of color,
I could see it as a headboard.
2 thumbs up. Or not.
I'm not a big fan of that salmon.
You have to have a hit of fun. There has to be a little energy, and we're getting it from that fabric.
I don't envision that piece of fabric in the room.
I've got a great new idea for a show. I'm gonna design for men. I seem to be far more on board with my concepts. We're speeding along, but as with any renovation, you've got to stay on your toes. We just seem to have a few little details. We've got a gable here, which finishes the cabinet off nicely. However, we don't seem to have one here. If you're gonna finish one end one way, you have to finish the other end the same way. Next problem that I see is a furring panel has been installed, and it's kind of set in from the side. The color doesn't even match. So you know what we have to do now? We have to add a gable to each of the 2 sides that's missing it. We have to remove the furring panel. Problem here is, when we remove this, we're gonna have damage to the ceiling. We're gonna need to repaint. The ceiling is finished, it's been caulked, it's all done. I never asked for it, I don't want it. Doing things twice is never fun. I need to find my happy place. What do you think about this for the headboard design? Inspired by a mid-century classic chair. So it's kind of like tubes.
You know what it reminds me of?
No.
Remember those bricks of plasticine that you got in grammar school? I love it though. I think it's modern, but plush at the same time. And in our pattern fabric, I think it's gonna look amazing.
It's gonna be modern plush, hopefully not plasticine looking.
No, it'll be good. I like it.
What's not to like? It's going to really soften the space. And the ripstop nylon shades are taking shape too. Practical and easy to clean. As these are finished, Tommy and Allie are seeking out some final touches.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Okay, and how much is it?
$159.
Awesome.
But I was on site today,
Yes.
and our bay window is way bigger
Yeah, it's
than we
big.
thought it was. So that led me to this table.
Okay.
This could also function as a desk.
Perfect for the modern chair.
What else you got for me?
Some clocks.
In a mostly white room, accessories are an easy and non-committal way to introduce color.
I would say that the vivid green in the table mount clock is a little closer to the green that we have in our fabric, right?
This is exactly the right green.
So if we grab one of those and one of the white versions, then we're pretty safe, and we'll try them both in the room. Well done.
Back at the house, a major piece of the puzzle has arrived. The glass wall for the stairwell. Once installed, the tempered glass will be as sturdy as a standard wall. Now to make it a little less see-through with a photo adhesive decal. The upside is that you can use any high-quality digital image you want. So we could go with this sort of graffiti wall thing, but I think it's a bit murky with our fabric. I'm not sure that I'm thinking architectural. I think it needs to be color.
But very simple in a way.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
you get a bit of the blue, a bit of the green, a bit of even that apricot color.
Yep.
That's the one.
Totally.
So essentially, we're covering the glass with a really big removable sticker. What do you think?
Well chosen. Beautiful colors.
It's a bit more translucent than I imagined, but I like the effect.
This guy must really know how to make a bed. There's no wrinkles. I didn't expect it to be this really cool streaky looking thing.
I think this is a winner. Getting closer. The electrical's almost done. We're installing the tabletop saving pendants. Nice job, Jimmy. As the ripstop nylon Roman blinds go up, a couple of our interns are assembling the bed. And this toolbox is almost a bedroom with tons of storage, fresh color, and an innovative walkway solution.
This is the most minimalistic that Sarah's really willing to go, and I think that that was really driven by what we saw when we got there. I'm speechless. What was really needed for these people was a cleanup and an organizational plan, and that's what they got.
Before and after. Don't you feel better?
It's really clean and fresh and light, and it's perfect.
Well, I had always wanted the clean, modern, minimalist room, and Sarah and Tommy really gave us that.
I've been around the block with renovations a few times, and I know what's involved. So I knew that we would need to devote most of our budget to just getting the space right.
This room had to get back to square one.
After all the years of working on the house, it's a great relief to have this finished.
I owe everything to Sarah for my sanity these days, because it's really been amazing.
We went from chaos, and I felt we needed a heaping helping of calm. I didn't want it to be entirely white, and I felt that it was appropriate to add a few accents of color, an interesting chair, a piece of art glass, a dramatic headboard, and a glass wall. Doesn't really need much more than that. Old houses are known for being severely lacking in closet space. In this case, by making the change to the radiator, we were able to install 2 huge wardrobe systems.
Utilized every space that she's given me, and I'm like really ecstatic about that.
Admit it, you thought the window treatments were gonna look awful, right? I know. Tommy, he wasn't sure. So I wanted to embrace a contemporary fabric with a very simple execution, as unadorned as possible. And hey, I'll be doing those again. They look very cool.
I will say the one design element that we definitely disagreed on was the bed. The other bed's a better bed. Even at the end of the day, the bed looked good. The other bed might have looked better. Just saying.
It seemed to me that when you walked in the front door and looked up and saw the area that was open, it offered an opportunity to do something that would be eye-catching. And I landed on this idea of a striped treatment on the glass.
Well, it was a really interesting concept and added a lot of texture to that space.
It's not a permanent lifetime decision. If your mood changes, you can peel it off and apply a different pattern or texture or whatever you fancy. By concentrating on finishing the room first and then introducing a scaled-down layout, great storage, and clean, modern color scheme, we've transformed a tool shed into a restful retreat.
It's going to enhance their everyday life. Certainly it's going to enhance their every night life.
I think they're much happier in their bedroom, let's just say that. Does your dining room have any of these symptoms?
It's dark, it's dated, the furniture is too small, the table is too small, the chairs are too small to sit in.
Well, the doctors are in. Actually, we're making a house call. And we'll show you how to revive a dying room. Sorry, dining room. A dying dining room. Wow!
What do you call this color?
Raspberry. I'm taking it all in.
I'm about to barf it all out. What I think is really interesting about this room is that I can't tell whether it wants a round dining table or a rectangular dining table.
Well, what it does want is a bigger table.
What I'd like to see is something that more reflects who we are. We're a young family.
This dining room for me showcases the #1 reason why I like painted trim.
Yeah.
You don't even notice the shapeliness of the furniture because it's all just blending right in. I mean, it's like this cabinet is attached to the baseboard. It's solid oak.
Yeah, which is really, really amazing if it's 1908. Do we need to address lighting in here? Hell yeah. Okay. Right. But honestly, like, I want to see it with our TV lights off so that people can really see you're getting nothing from those windows.
Okay, let's do it. Turn them off. The challenge is, how do you take a room that looks and feels very dated, very traditional? How do you make it feel more relaxed, more inviting, more family friendly, a little bit more modern, way more up to date, and a whole lot brighter?
The only thing I like about the room is the size.
Oh, 15.5. So our windows are almost 8 feet high.
Wow.
Oh.
What is that? Oh my God.
We may need an electrician. I am not touching that. Okay, then. Our brief for the space, among other things, is to create a family-friendly dining room that's youthful, fun, and durable. Let there be light in this dark space, and while contemporizing the room, we can't lose its original character.
Well, I think we have to start in a dining room with the table.
I don't think I want to start with the table.
You don't?
No.
Why?
I need a visual of where we're going. I need a color, I need a scheme, I need a concept. You want a table?
I just want to decide whether the table's rectangular or round, because I think that a lot of the other stuff will inform.
You go look for a table. I'll go look for a jumping off point.
You've given yourself the easy way.
You
I
said
think
you
finding
wanted
a table is going to be a challenge. No, I said I wanted to start with the table.
I don't want to start with the table.
I didn't say I wanted to do it.
And that's where our design team comes in. Allie, Michael, and Lindsay are our eyes on the ground. And while they start the furniture search,
Ooh, I love this.
I'm gonna figure out how to make this dark, pokey gentleman's club show me fun work for a modern family. That's bold. No, 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 almost. No, no, hey, wait a minute. This is it. It's like a little street scene. Almost looks like it's been hand-drawn, but it's actually embroidered. What I like about this, we've got a light neutral background, not too much pattern. We've got some bright colors to kind of draw it out, and this is useful. This is modern, this is fun. I think this sets the exact right tone for this room. Fabric? Check. Now, the next big question. Is Tommy sourcing furniture himself, or has he convinced the design team to do everything for him?
Too dainty, too outdoorsy, too hard, too castle-y. They're nice and light, but they're pretty sturdy.
The faux bamboo set, how many of those are there? I just want to see them quickly in person. This is a basic, traditional chair, been in production for decades. It's a Chippendale style, but the great thing about it is it's really, really versatile. So you can mix this style of chair with a very contemporary table, which gives us options. Holy moly, did you get all 8 in the car?
I packed them in.
These look even better than they did in the picture. Okay, so they've got to go to the upholsterer. We need to strip them first.
Yep.
Then get them sprayed.
Yep.
Then reupholster.
I'll take them now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
And get this great idea for seating fabric when there are toddlers at home. I have found outdoor fabric available in every single color that is in my inspiration fabric. Outdoor fabric is made of 100% polyester. Why does it work? Well, it's designed to make sure that water or spills and stains bead on top and don't soak in. So what could be better for a family with 3 little kids who are sure to spill lots on it?
I'm looking at some sourcing photos that Allie took for dining tables.
I think that's too contemporary.
This is a little bit deco, and I wasn't really thinking that. This one is a cool table, and it's contemporary, which is what we want, but I just feel like it's maybe feels a bit boardroom, a bit office.
I think a little pedestal table doesn't offer enough flexibility. I think it's just gonna be too small in this space.
Yeah, you're quite right. That's it. So I'm gonna go back out.
This dark dining room is starting to lighten up for a young, modern family. We begin with happy curtain fabric. Hello. That's fun. A rainbow of spill-resistant seat cushions and some classic chairs.
These look even better than they did in the picture.
We still need to find the all-important dining table and some, youthful paint colors.
Look at that. That's not black.
That's poop.
It's poop. Okay, I have something to show you. Follow me.
I'm following.
I know it's an odd choice. It's made of laminate, but it's a classic Parsons table, which you and I both love, always have.
Used to have one.
Right? It's super modern.
Right.
The kids can color on this, spill on this, do whatever they want to this. And at $250, yeah.
$250?
$250.
Okay, turn the cameras off. Back to the car. $250 for a child-friendly design classic? That's our table. Now, where on earth did I park? Oh, there.
Jimmy.
Hey, Tommy, how are you?
Our issue is we need to get some pots in here. This room is extraordinarily dark.
Remember? Turn them off. To add light in this big, dark dining room, we need more than a chandelier and 2 sconces. Pot lights will provide important illumination.
One scenario is we do one here, 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 and one here for a total of 4 pot lights. Or we could still do the pot in the bay, and then we could do corner, 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 corner. Quick question, are we gonna end up with like super dark corners if we do this plan with the pots in the center of the walls?
It's nice there, but you lose it, the corners would be dark, so.
Hold on, what if we did this? 2 here, and 1 here. Is that better?
That's definitely better.
General rule for pot light placement? I'd recommend 6 feet apart and 18 inches from the wall. That way you get plenty of light without cluttering your ceiling. And something else is starting to lighten up too. The thing about stained wood trim is it's somewhat bossy. If you've just got a stained wood floor, that's okay. However, when you've got a stained wood floor and then a whole room surrounded by stained wood trim, it just becomes a sea of brown. There's brown everywhere. I need a break from that brown, and I need to be able to go in a totally different direction. What if we do the main walls in the cream and put this dark blue just above the plate rail?
Like that. Is the general rule not to do it dark color on the bottom, light on top?
Right, but we're trying to lighten this room, so I think we have to rethink how to get color in while still lightening it. So I'm thinking, what if we just use this blue like a band?
Cool.
Wait, who's painting?
You're painting.
But last time I painted, you got really mad at me and said I was messy.
Just make sure that you do good squares.
He's so bossy.
And label them.
That is, oh my God, look at how messy I am.
And then next
I got ceiling color next. Oh geez, they're everywhere.
Let me do this.
Why?
Because it's just getting messy.
So you want me to?
just be in charge of opening cans and writing the labels.
And you know my handwriting is.
Try not to get any marker on yourself. This is seriously brown looking. Look at that. That's not black.
That's poop.
It's poop.
What should I write on the label?
Poop.
Poop.
No, I didn't mean that seriously.
Is that brown? Oh, poop! You could have called it truffle, okay? And by the way, sapphire has 2 P's.
I asked Lindsay to spell it for me. So that's blonde for sapphire.
However you spell it, the color works with our freshen up scheme. And it references the fab jumping off fabric, the same as cotton, our wall color, and retreat, a light turquoise for the ceiling. Now, what about the trim?
We need to look at the doors as almost like a graphic art element.
Okay.
Instead of painting them all black,
Right.
I'm suggesting maybe a little bit in the center panels.
Nice.
And then default to maybe a darker, moodier gray trim throughout.
Like
Baseboards, plate rail, crown molding, right?
Even the crown molding.
Yes.
You know my rule is crown molding always goes white.
I know, but in this case, it would be beautiful to have like a 3-stripe effect, almost getting that horizontal. It's a bit more contemporary, a bit less traditional than doing the plaster white trim, right? And then again black on just the window sashes.
Interesting. And the black highlight on the windows will also draw focus from the brick wall that you're actually looking at.
I'm 100% confident in Sarah and Tommy.
I am glad she has 100% confidence in me. Let's just hope I don't let her down.
It's different.
Well, if Jennifer was unsure about that fabric, then Jennifer and I have had exactly the same reaction.
We could use, this is the drape.
This is really like going crazy with color.
I don't know how I'd feel if it was lots and lots of it, like drapes.
Well, we're gonna find out soon because these are the drapes. Today's case study, bringing contemporary, family-friendly flair to a traditional space without losing any of its character. Yeah, this is better. But the jury's still out on a fundamental choice.
It's different.
I was not sure about it either, so Jennifer and I will both wait and see.
I think it's worth taking a chance to do something different. Step outside your comfort zone and see what can happen. This dining room has 5 doors and a bay window, making furniture placement a bit of a puzzle. And it still needs storage. Growing family, remember? Have I lost my focus? Or could this be interesting?
Could you jazz it up with paint?
Do you paint it all one color? Do you paint it 2 colors? Do you add mirror to the back to make it reflective? I don't know. It's just that right now.
I have a lot of good ideas regarding this one particular piece of furniture. This could go in 2 different ways. This could go totally Dorothy Draper, which is a good thing.
Okay.
Or it could go totally Heidi, which is a bad thing.
So we're either going in the direction of a legendary decorator from the past or a girl who wore braids.
In the mountains.
Meanwhile, Michael climbs the highest mountain to find us a rug choice to ground this dining space.
Perfect.
I like the fact that it's black and white. I have 2 concerns. The first is that it's fairly thin.
Right.
So I'm a bit worried about whether it's practical. And like the longer I look at it, it's almost like the whole rug is pulsing. And I'm just not sure that that's the effect that I want.
No, you don't want to be dizzy at dinner.
No, dizzy at dinner is not a good thing. I feel like you need to have blinders on. So let's roll this up and keep on moving. Well, the rug goes back, but it's full steam ahead on our Chippendale chairs. Black lacquer and colorful stain-resistant cushions will give this dining room a youthful, practical jolt. But we still need some critical elements to finish the room. So right now, I'm on the lookout for a chandelier. This has become a hunting mission. Get it? No to the pink. All right, this one's got potential. So it's got some crystals. They're very streamlined. They're a bit sharper than what you would find on a really old traditional fixture, but I like the fact that it still has a bit of crystal. It's gonna give us a bit of sparkle, yet this is updated thanks to the chrome cage. Take a picture, maybe we'll try it on approval. And back at the office, I've found some more storage possibilities. Oh, hello. Sideboard, 67 wide, 18 deep, 31 high, $450. This could work. Need to see it. Ooh, look at this one. Designed for cutlery. 3 cabinets, extra shelf, $450. Normally I would keep the wood, but in this case, I need it to go black, like the chairs. So this baby's going out for a spray. See you soon. And we took a leap of faith and decided to go back for that corner cabinet. You're going to be amazed at how it looks. Really. And now to solve the rug issue.
Well, the black and white is an obvious thing, but that's a little too much for me. That's pretty. Wrong colors. Okay, too much, way too much. I'm dizzy just looking at that. Can you actually swing on that thing? Like, will it hold your weight? Oh. God, the chin-ups are a little harder after 40, eh? Can I walk on this? Oh, it's a rug. The world looks a little better from up here on a stack of a dozen carpets.
Do you like this?
I'm bored by that.
That's nice. Oh, hi.
Sorry,
I'm just gonna get close with my friends here.
Wow, that I like.
Might have a little too much cream for a dining room.
I don't think I need to do a poll to know that 9 out of 10 parents of tiny kids are gonna think we're nuts for putting that in there.
How do you feel about that?
I think we have a winner.
Right.
This is such a pattern that even if you did stain it, you might not notice the stain as much. Like, I think this is actually more kid-friendly.
A contemporary rug for a dining room update. So far, we've added fabrics, paint, lights, and furniture. And the room is just about done, except for one thing. We've ordered the fabric, and now it's stuck somewhere over the Atlantic. It got caught up in shipping. It's coming from the UK. It's taking forever. Stripes are supposed to be installed tomorrow, and I still don't even have my hands on the fabric. And I don't know when I'm gonna get it. It's stuck in customs. And it stays there for a while. But just when everything seems to be standing still, we start moving again.
I wait for a week, it comes today, and they want it for tomorrow. It's not always like that.
Well, actually, it is always like that. But Bessie pulls through, and we've got a dining room to finish. It's a good day. The ultimate goal for this dining room was to lighten it up, to brighten it up, but mostly to liven it up.
We love that it's different, that it's bright.
And the mirror is nice, too.
It's nice.
Thinking about it.
Bit boring. That's nice. It seems a little underscaled to me.
Small.
That one looks heavy, too.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's.
It's the first one.
It's the first one. Great.
We're done.
The room when we arrived was very dark. It was kind of depressing.
I don't think design always needs to be serious. If you're a young family, you need to have some fun.
So what we've given them is a room that is light-filled with bright color, and it's family-friendly.
The table we chose, well, it's pretty much indestructible. You can scrub it clean. The chairs are covered in outdoor upholstery fabric, spills, stains, you name it, it won't stick.
The boys love the dining room. They pick which color chair they get to sit on.
By punctuating the area above the plate rail with an intense blue, we satisfied our need and want for color, but it doesn't draw the walls in. Instead, it takes your eye up. I think that looks good. Replace a light fixture that has downward-facing light by instead choosing something with multiple bulbs that all shine up. Now we're talking bright, sparkly, and effective use of lighting. For the record, we got this fabric 24 hours ago. We picked it up from the supplier.
I was really hesitant about that drapery fabric.
If I'm gonna use pattern, I need it to be an effective pattern. I need it to make a statement. I need to say something.
It ended up being something that dictated so many other elements.
Yes, seeing it all done, I feel much better.
I think in a room that's designed for gathering, where you want everyone to have a good time, why not start out with this funky embroidered fabric of people in a street scene who look like they're having a good time? Look at that!
My favorite thing in this room
I'm following this in.
is that corner cabinet that we bought. I love the fact that it's a changeable piece of furniture. And the lesson there is when you first see something like that is a diamond in the rough, it is open to interpretation.
Unbelievable. We decided that it would be more dramatic if you could showcase cream ceramics against a dark backdrop. That was Tommy's suggestion, and boy, was he right. If you're looking to use some black paint in your home, you don't have to go whole hog. What we've shown here is that you can use just a hint.
The rug was a really, really bold choice. And when you've got so much going on with colored dining chair seats, very interesting embroidered drapes, lacquered furniture, you have to have something to ground all of that chaos.
It's just perfect.
The most important thing for me about this dining room and about this family was to showcase that it's possible to live in a historic house and to reinterpret it in a fun way, in a more modern way, in a more youthful way, without losing any of the charm and the character of the house. I am not touching that. There's a wire coming out. No, stop. Stop. I beseech you.
Can you imagine? Oh.
Don't do it!
It's the first day of shooting Sarah 101, folks, and Tommy's dead.
You're just trying to prove that
This
you're
episode
irreplaceable.
dedicated in loving memory to Tommy Smythe.